Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dan Amar Shah bin Sharul Iswan from Polytechnic Oklahoma. My matrix number is 01DEE25F0199, and today I am going to explain about a bipolar junction transistor. So, what is a bipolar junction transistor? A bipolar junction transistor is a semiconductor device that is widely used in electronic circuits. It plays an important role in controlling the flow of current and is commonly used for amplification and switching purposes. In modern electronics, bipolar junction transistors are used in many applications such as audio amplifiers, radios, and switching circuit. This shows that a bipolar junction transistor is a very important component in our daily electronic device. Also, this transistor consists of three terminals, which are base, collector, and emitter. Each terminal has its own function in controlling and directing the current flow in the circuit. In the presentation, I will explain the function of each terminal, the type of the bipolar junction transistor, and how to identify them using a simple method. And now I'm going to explain about the three terminals of a bipolar junction transistor and their functions. This transistor has three terminals, which are base, collector, and emitter. Each terminal has a specific role in controlling the flow of current in the transistor. The first terminal is the base, which is the B. The base is the control terminal of the transistor. It controls how much current flows through the transistor. When a small current is applied to the base, it allows a larger current to flow between the collector and the emitter. This means the base acts like a switch or a control signal. The second terminal is the collector. The collector is responsible for collecting the current from the circuit. It is usually connected to the power supply, and it allows current to enter the transistor. The amount of current that flows into the collector depends on the signal given to the base. And lastly, the third terminal is the emitter, which is the E. The emitter releases the current out of the transistor. It is usually connected to the ground or the lower voltage side of the circuit. The emitter provides the path for current to leave the transistor. In simple terms, a small current at the base controls a large current flowing from the collector to the emitter. This is the main working principle of a bipolar junction transistor. There are also two types of this transistor, which are NPN and PNP. For a NPN transistor, the current flows from the collector to the emitter when the base is activated. But for a PNP transistor, the current flows from the emitter to the collector when the base is activated. This difference in current flow direction is important when designing electronic circuit. Overall, the base controls the transistor, the collector brings in the current, and the emitter releases the current. And now, for the most important part, I will explain about the material used in bipolar junction transistor and the different type of bipolar junction transistor. A bipolar junction transistor is made from semiconductor materials. These materials have electrical properties between conductors and insulators. The most commonly used material is silicon. As you can see, silicon is widely used because it is stable, reliable, and can operate well at a higher temperature. It is also easily available and suitable for most electronic applications. Another material used is germanium. Germanium was used in earlier electronic devices because it is more sensitive to small signal. However, it is less stable at a high temperature and can be affected easily by heat. Because of this, germanium is less commonly used today compared to silicon. In general, silicon is preferred in modern electronics because it provides better performance and durability. And now moving on to types of BJT. There are two main types of BJT, which are NPN and PNP. The first type is NPN transistor. NPN transistor, the majority charge carrier are electron. When a small current is applied to the base, it allows a larger current to flow from the collector to the emitter. NPN transistors are more commonly used because they are faster and more efficient in most circuits. The second type is the PNP transistor. In a PNP transistor, the majority charge carriers are holes. When the base is activated, currents flow from the emitter to the collector. PNP transistors are also useful but are less commonly used compared to NPN transistor. And now I'm going to show you guys how to identify whether the transistor is NPN or PNP using a multimeter. Okay, so first thing first, we are going to set the multimeter to diode mode or the ohms mode. Then we are going to connect the probes to the transistor terminals and observe the reading. If and only if the current flows when the red probe is connected to the base, the transistor is NPN. But if the current flows when the black probe is connected to the base, the transistor will be PNP. This method is very simple and useful when working with electronic components. In summary, bipolar junction transistors are made from semiconductor materials like silicon and germanium. They are also mainly classified into two types, which are NPN and PNP, each with different current flow characteristics. So guys, we already arrived at the end of this video, which is our conclusion for today. The bipolar junction transistor or BJT is an important component in electronic circuit used for amplification and switching. A BJT has three terminals, which are base, collector and emitter, and each terminal plays a role in controlling current flows. There are two types of BJT, which are NPN and PNP, and they differ in direction of current flow. BJT are commonly made from silicon, which is stable and widely used. Overall, this practical helped me understand how BJTs work and their importance in real-life electronic application. I hope this video can help you guys to understand more about bipolar junction terminals. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching.